Здравствуйте, товарищи. Welcome, comrades. And here we are, back at it again with our boy, Joseph Stalin, as the Soviet Union. And we are here on the 23rd of September, 1936, to continue the conquest, the goals of world domination, fight back the German Reich, and take what is rightfully ours. So let's begin. We'll slow it down a slight amount. And yes, the Spanish Civil War has just ended. The nationalist forces have surrendered, and the war has come to an end. Good for Spain. And we have a communist ally. We cannot invite them to our faction. They will not accept for reasons that we're not at war, and they have some base reluctance, so we'll just deal with that for now. France, however, we are boosting communism, so hopefully, eventually, we may join as one. And we are also going to boost not party popularity, but our relations with the French. We have no divisions in training because we are still looking to reinforce the existing ones. We have many available planes in reserve, apparently. Lots of interwar fighters, so we won't worry about that. Our elite tank divisions that we sent over to Spain are in transit all the way back over to the Great Union, SSSR. It is the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, Союз Советских Социалистических Республик. Let's see here, the volunteer forces that were fighting in Spain have returned home. So you got about 5 divisions. Level 14, 13, 15, 14. So they're pretty war torn, pretty well battled at this point. We'll probably integrate them back into the. We'll actually put them into. I have no clue. Give them to the Eastern Front's way over here. We don't need them over there. We'll give them. This is a real tough decision. Give them to the Finns, actually. So we can hopefully take that territory quite quickly. And we do need to choose a national focus. Great Purge, we should probably think about doing that soon. Here, armor geniuses, division attack. So this grants us extra armor, and this gains us a lot of political power and national unity. This will lead to lower research times, extra population recruitable, extra research slots, aircraft research, and kamikaze missions. This other one will lead us to extra research slot as well, extra infrastructure, extra rubber, extra air experience, construction speed, recruitable population. We're going to definitely let's go with positive heroism here. We get a large boost in recruitable population, research slot, research time. So let's start with that. We can also modify our government, bringing us to, let's go for a political advisor maybe. National unity is quite low. Our construction speed would be nice, though. So we'll get a captain of industry. Actually, our research, how's that going? Mechanical computing, let's up the speed a bit. I'm just looking at... Oh, you know what? We do have an extra 5 units in this army. So maybe we'll send them over to this division instead, this guy. Although this guy does have extra, he's a panzer leader. Not sure why. Maybe he fought with the Germans. So I believe I'm going to send him back over to this army in reality, and then we'll just take some cavalry out, and some general troops as well. Send them over to the Yellow Army, and we can put them on any of these fronts, really. Doesn't matter. And we're still looking for quite a bit of reinforcement here. So just to refresh where we are, we need to produce a lot more infantry equipment, light tanks, fighters. And it's not a matter of resources, which we have a lot of, except for rubber. It's the fact that we don't have many factories. You can see we're actually producing a lot of civilian factories just to get our construction speed up higher. We're not recruiting or deploying any troops because we need to reinforce and upgrade a lot of the existing ones. We're running a large deficit of infantry equipment and light tanks. Trade-wise, we're trading for rubber, and that's it. Diplomacy, I mean, France is our buddy, Spain's our buddy. Everyone else is just kind of pretty neutral about us. Otherwise, research, we're getting close with mechanical computing, concentrated industry, and excavation. So hopefully these techniques will help us construct things faster and whatnot. I'll speed it up to the max speed, as not too much is happening right now. And hopefully soon we can get some national focuses to start invading Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania to just increase our reach. There we go. We have researched mechanical computing and concentrated industry, so we can actually continue along that same vein, get better construction speed and factory repair speed, which would greatly help us once war breaks out, and factory output. So just really a huge focus on our industry right now. I'll slow it down a bit more. The Chinese Soviet Republic declared war on Jibei Sanma. So it's these guys. Mao will go for a non-aggression pact, which is great. Hopefully they're successful taking out this country. If they are, as well as with Shaanxi, we will they'll basically be a force to be reckoned with against nationalist China, are they? Or I guess no faction at all. So it'll be interesting once, Japan eventually invades and it's a whole mess. But if the Soviet Republic can get enough power, they could be a good ally in this fight. So we could support them. Now, claims in the Baltic are all the way down here, unfortunately, so you might want to get started on that. The Great Purge there'll soon be a civil war. Yeah, so we should probably eventually do this. As we can see, we have national unity minus 20%, so I think in the interest of time, we're just going to start this Great Purge now. And it's really going to suck for a while because we're going to lose a ton of officers, and eventually we'll recover from it. It's better to do it earlier so we recover by the time war breaks out. So we start asking questions, Not a great time to be in the Soviet Union. All right, here we've reached the first of our multiple trials that will convict quite a few of our officers, so we have to be careful about this. We could lose a lot of political power. We could remove Nikita Khrushchev, who gives us communism support or national unity. So I think we're just going to remove Khrushchev. Might be the smarter deal here. Won't risk too much. Hopefully it doesn't impact us too much in the future here. We'll just make sure we didn't lose any of our generals. Yeah, I don't think we did. So we're safe there. Hopefully soon after these purges we can begin to take some more land. Territory for the motherland. Yeah, these trials were no good thing either. They really crippled the Soviet Union in terms of leadership because they lost a lot of smart generals and smart tacticians just because of Stalin's kind of he's very, very suspicious of what was going on in his own government. So he was purged. So hopefully we can get some effective guys. National unity plus 15% is a great help to us. So hopefully we don't have to purge him as well, especially because we chose to keep him on. It's probably a bad idea to do that because it would have been good to keep the political power. So here we have our second trial of the generals. The Red Army has always been home to subversive elements ever since Trotsky himself was Commissar of War. Documents acquired by the NKVD have implicated several high-ranking officers as not only traitors but spies. Mikhail Tukhachevsky is among the most prominent of the suspects, and one Stalin is keen to rid the army of. So Tukhachevsky, it seems like this will get rid of a lot of good generals here, which is probably not the greatest thing. Alexander. Oh, so here we go. Tukhachevsky is actually leading one of our armies. Either way, we lose a lot of great generals. Unfortunately. Let's just check the rest of our fronts. Grigory Kulik. So, commerce rating, naval, aviation, division speeds, division defense, mass assault doctrine, mass assault expert, army experience gain. I think in this situation we're going to have to remove the Tukhachevsky. So we're gonna remove him from the army. We'll need a new ruler, not a new ruler, a new general here. So I'll figure that out. These guys are on Estonian and Latvian borders. They have 62. So we will just promote someone. Or maybe not. We'll think about this. We could also split up the forces, but it's not exactly 24 and 24. So we'll have to be careful here. We'll give them we still have some very capable generals, so we'll do one with winter attrition. We'll select half the divisions and unassign them to a new army, and we'll give them out of supply. And then with that being said, they still need to take out another 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll unassign these boys, put them into like a cavalry army, and then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll assign those guys there as well. So as for this army, we'll put them on the Estonian border here, and then these guys, we'll just give them a different color. Why not? Give them a front line across Latvia. Yeah, Latvia. And then the cavalry can join the NKVD garrison forces. Yeah. We'll have to reshuffle, but things should work out. It is unfortunate, purging all these officers because you really do need a lot of them. But so is life. And just checking to see these claims. We can claim Poland. We can claim, let's see, Latvia and Lithuania. Otherwise, we can't really claim Finland, so we may need to, we're just going to claim them on our own, I believe. I might not have seen the actual national focus, but we're going to do it on our own. 78 political power in the last 390 days, which is quite a long amount of time, and we cannot afford it. And, oh, the humanity, the Hindenburg disaster. So, unfortunately, a large dirigible with, I believe, this hydrogen exploded. kind of a mystery as to what the cause was, but that will kind of spell the end for airships. Let's see, I don't believe I see... There are lots of claims down here. I don't see anywhere that I can claim Finland, though. So, unfortunately, we'll have to do it on our own. We will do it. Alright, how soon will the Great Purge be over? I think there may be one more trial in there, if not two. How many more troops, how many more generals can eke out of me? And here we have the trial of 21, arrests and trials. The Great Purge has weaved a narrative that led up to this trial. Among the accused are not only leaders like Nikolai Bukharin, but a number of diplomats, politicians, military officials, and even many high-ranking NKVD officers. These are a lot of guys that served during World War I and got all buddy-buddy with Trotsky, so Stalin is very paranoid. Does not want them in his government. So here we get a lot of air. A lot of guys in the government who would help with our Air Force. And that would be unfortunate if we lost them. Bad weather penalty, air accident chance, air superiority, naval experience gain. The Kuznetsov, I believe they actually have an aircraft carrier named after him, which is pretty cool. Yeah, today, in modern times. See, even if we do one of those, it'll lead to a civil war, which kind of sucks. I have fought the Civil War before, and it's not too bad, but it kind of envelops all of this part of the Soviet Union, and you don't really want that. So, yeah, we'll go with the air support. As it is, the Soviet Union has a pretty weak air support at the beginning. There's not much you can do. We'll just go with that one. That's what we got to do. You feel bad for the guys, but what is there? Oh, we do have some free civilian factories, so in the meantime, let's start building up our military factories. Here we go, engineering. Yeah, we do have a lot more. As you can see, there's a huge array of aircraft that we can choose from here. CV fighters. A lot of these don't really know what they do. Maritime patrol. Let's see, they were various tasks: anti-submarine to anti-air sea rescue, gunfire spotting for battleships. So I guess they can do some probably do some good naval strikes. Heavy bombers, medium, heavy fighters, torpedo bombers, fighters, dive bombers. A lot to choose from here. Haven't been working on doctrine at all, or anything for that matter, and it might be a good idea to start, but I'm not inclined to do so. I'll research radio. Seems like an important thing to have. We did research construction and concentrated industry. So you can actually probably begin on some other things now. So maybe some weapons and equipment might be a smart idea. Okay. So yeah, let's go with some weapons and equipment. And it would be really great. Look at that. We got armored cars. I don't know if we could even factor a new light tank upgrade into our current industry, so I might have to hold off on that. We will do field hospitals, though, just because I think that's integral to our division design, and not having a field hospital will really impact the longevity of our units and their ability to survive prolonged fights, especially one with the German Reich, who has, anywhere from apparently 39 to 81 divisions, but I don't think that's true at all. And Amelia Earhart has disappeared, so an unfortunate turn of events for someone who was thought to circumnavigate the globe. Oh well. Yes, of course. And there we go. And just as we finish the Great Purge, the Germans offer us a research agreement. Despite harsh previous rhetoric against both the people and the ideological leadership of the Soviet Union, Adolf Hitler and Germany has now reached out to us, requesting a mutually beneficial research treaty. While exchanging knowledge would help our efforts to develop new tank designs along with promises of other research benefits in the future, there's little doubt considering previous statements that the Germans are doing this for their own sake. So we would get medium tank research, which would help us out. But the thing is, our industry really can't help yet, so it would be something for a future decision. Here would basically be armor research time goes up real high for another year. We lose political power, and the Germans kind of dislike us. I still might do it anyways. I'm going to spit in their faces. And here, diplomats from Argentina with a proposal for research agreement between our nations. This project could only benefit in research terms. So, yeah, you know what? Argentina, why not? You're not Germany, and Argentina won't be playing a role in the war as much as Germany will. So, and the Marco Polo Bridge incident. This means war between Japan and China is imminent. Let me just see if I can... Unfortunately, I can't really do much with the Chinese Soviet Republic. They had their chance for power, and that chance has been wasted. So here we are, trying to combat the Germans. No Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact for them. We won't be getting parts of Poland, but it just means we'll have to defend this much more. And it would be good to build up, probably build up a large defensive network along this whole border with Germany. But for now, we're just going to give it our best shot. More free civilian factories. It is 1937, so we have about 2 years until war is going to kick off. But ideally, we could start building some more military factories as well. So we're going to do that. Then what I'd love to do is start building up anti-air across the entire border, because I just know that Germany is going to be flying tons of air missions in here. And the same goes for forts. It would be wonderful to just get an entire defensive line of forts to combat the German offensive that will inevitably sweep through this region. And what we could also do is put forts behind rivers. It does give us a large defensive advantage. So we're just going to do that. Just in case we do need to fall back, we can fall back behind the rivers. I'm not going to do too much fort building just because it will be a huge drain on our economy. But the way this looks, I'm quite happy with it. It is inevitable that they'll push us back no matter how many troops we'll have just because of their strength. We'll give it our best shot, though. And in Moscow as well, we'll build a few forts just in case they ever get this close. And when I say a few forts, I mean build like, what is that, 80, like 100 forts. Yeah, something ridiculous. But they will be built faster. And I forgot we did finish the Great Purge. So this will really help our military regain primacy. But at the same time, it might be better to go along this way just to improve the Stalin line. We're going to improve our railway network and move on with life. And in the meantime, we'll start building some more infantry equipment, which is sorely needed. And then we can probably start justifying against Finland, which may not be a terrible idea. Yeah, we can afford that. 395 days, but if we do that, we will be able to grab some land that we previously did not have. Okay, so here we go. Japan is building up their forces on the Chinese border. Japan declared war on Shaanxi and China. And Iraq wants to join our faction. I mean, sure, dude. Go ahead and join our faction. I've never had that happen. It must be a mod event, but you know, it's always good to have a few more allies here. Oh, and I was looking at Iran, wasn't I? Questioning the Finnish sovereignty. Of course I am. Oh, it's the Kingdom of Iraq, right? Borders are confusing. So, yep, they are, I believe, in the common turn now. Yep. They're a little surrounded, unfortunately, but they, not the most powerful either. So hopefully they don't get, if they get invaded by Iran, hopefully I can divert some troops over there to help them out. We're just speeding along right now at a ridiculous pace. There's not too much we can do. China's definitely going to get invaded. And this is now still owned by Mao Zedong, but it's the border region. So I believe they joined forces with China to fight back the Japanese. I don't think it'll be enough, but it's what happens. I could try and send the volunteers to stave off the Japanese. I can send 7 men currently. I could send 7 tank divisions. It would really cripple my military might if I lost all 7 tank divisions. But if I was able to help the Chinese in any way, it might do some good. Then again, we would have to make Japan actually capitulate to ever get those tank divisions back. We couldn't just recall them at any point, so that would be unfortunate. Okay, so we researched the revolution to Finland. Your liberation is near, and we did get an improved railway network. Researching radio. We can move on to bigger and better things, get a radar station level 1. And I gotta be honest, if war started now, I would not be ready. So we could research light tanks, but again, we have a penalty to what we can be researching tank-wise, just because we did not sign that agreement with Germany. So we have to wait. Apparently these guys they're claiming they're not really assigned to orders, so I'll just do it again, but they're being funky. The justification against Finland, we're 77 out of 395 days in, and Beijing has fallen. Japanese army has marched into the city, unfortunately. Yeah, and there are a lot of people living in these provinces, I believe. What is it, 17 million? Over here, we got 9 million. So China is losing large reserves of manpower as they push in. And Italy is announcing claims on Yugoslavia. Unfortunate. The balance in Europe is quite fragile. Czechoslovakia wants to license production agreement. The rights to production of Skoda high-quality C5 mountain guns, R5 anti-aircraft guns, while Czechoslovaks are interested in our SB-2 bombers for the Air Force. Let us go ahead. Anything to help the Czechoslovakians in their plight against the Germans. It's quite useless, but they can continue on. And we do have talented new officers, so the officers purged is less debilitating. Our division organization isn't so low, and our research time isn't so low either, but it's still quite crippling for now. And here, unfortunately, we can't join forces or anything like that. France is actually almost communist, so they will be quite close to joining us, and hopefully they stop guaranteeing the independence of Finland, because ideally we would like to take that land. Yeah. And we did research field hospitals, which is great. And we could actually start with some doctrines, although the research time is increased on those for now, so we might avoid it for just a little bit. And research resource gain efficiency. When is the next election in France? not until 1940, well after Germany's going to declare war on them. So we might need to stage a coup there just so we can get our boys in power. Unfortunately, that may not be possible. So things will just carry on. A theorist, military, naval, nuclear, air, rocket. Industrial concerns. Here we go. Research time. We'll lower that industrial research time and go on to our research in itself. We could radio direction finding, which seems slightly helpful. We'll actually just go for the second level of radio. And construction-wise, we're still building factories. We haven't really made a headway on our anti-aircraft guns yet, or the forts for that matter. But hopefully, you know, this kind of construction goes a lot faster than the military factory construction. So hopefully we'll have some form of a defensive network set up by the time we're getting invaded by the Germans we refused a research agreement with. And there you go. The Austrians have been taken by the Germans. Apparently they wanted to join, who knows? I mean, when you have a whole army on their borders, they'll probably agree to anything at that point. And the German Reich just grows larger and larger. And Finnish sovereignty is being called into question. Still waiting quite a while for the French to turn Soviet. We may have to stage a coup. We could do it anywhere, really. I just don't want them to be too weak for the time when they actually have to fight in a war. I'm not sure where the best place to stage a coup would be. Somewhere probably where there's a good industry. You know, a lot of guys will join to the cause. And let's do that. It's going to take 400 days. We can try. We'll probably lose our claims on Finland, though, and in that same vein, France may declare war on us just because they're guaranteeing the independence of Finland. So things might not work out too well here. We'll lower our research time. We are going to found the PCDI and really get into what the Soviet Union can do here. So Czechoslovakia partially mobilized their troops, which in my opinion is probably good because we all know that the Germans are just going to steamroll them if they don't. We will research some new artillery guns, which is great. And just near closer to war. So I think this is probably a good place to stop. Not too much of an eventful episode. A lot of preparation, trying to gear up this massive, massive union of countries just to somehow defend against this tiny small one who has an insanely powerful military and industry. You know, a lot of things have gotten started. The Japanese are invading China. And yeah, we'll just have to see. Things are going kind of as planned. Spain is a good ally. Hopefully France won't declare war when I invade Finland and try and gain some more property. Some land. Property is not a concept in the Soviet Union. But anyways, you know, I have a feeling next time around things are going to really kick off once it gets to the invasion. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you've stuck around, if you've liked, definitely leave a like. If you disliked, hit the thumbs down. Let me know why in the comments. And definitely consider subscribing. I've been Popolamma. And as always, peace.